Welcome to the Abundance Hack Podcast, where we want to inspire you to push past your blocks, limiting beliefs, and comfort zone to live a confident, happy, and fulfilling life. I am your host, Niajae, influencer, motivational speaker, and boss babe. Every time you hit subscribe or leave a 5-star rating, I do my happy dance. Hey M&Ms, what limiting beliefs are you releasing today to live an abundant life? On today's episode, I want to dive deep. I'm calling this episode Unsubscribing from Struggle. I have come to a point in my life where I realize that struggle is an option. I understand that some people may not see it this way, but hear me out. I'm going to be blunt about my past. I was born in the hood. I wasn't surrounded by people who were investing, starting businesses, and traveling the world. I was surrounded by people who were hustling to get by, hustling to survive. There's a huge population of people that are just surviving. Then there are people who are living and comfortable, and then there are people who are thriving. Thriving is a word. Just like abundance, everyone's perception of what thriving looks like will be different. But growing up in certain environments, they don't teach you the skills needed to be successful and thrive. They teach you how to hustle and grind and just survive, and that's all that some people know. Although my mom was a single mom, and trust me, she was a hustler, she tried her best to provide for my siblings and me. However, there were still struggles. There's been evictions and repos, but one thing I can say about my mom is she never showed an ounce of weakness. She was taught that she had to be strong, and I respect that tremendously about my mom. As I started to shift my mindset, I realized that a lot of the things that happen to us are results of negative pre-programming. The decisions we make in life are a result of our patterns, beliefs, and what we're attracting to us. One thing I've learned is life doesn't have to be hard. Will there be challenges? Of course, but how well we prepare for those challenges makes all the difference. How we trust ourselves and our mental toughness makes a huge difference. Our patterns, our beliefs, and shifting your pre-programming makes all the difference. I've always been a dreamer. I've always saw life being big and grand and fabulous, and I think that at some point, most people did as well, but then life comes along and piles all of this stuff on top of you, telling you you can't do this, you can't have that, you'll never be this, and eventually you lose sight of that vision. For me, I held on to that vision. There's times where it started to slip away, but for the most part, I held on to it for dear life. So I want to share 7 things that have helped me along the way. Number 1 is I question everything. I mean everything. I'm definitely an overthinker. My mom used to actually hate giving me an opinion because I would always ask why. Which do you like better, A or B? She would say B, and I would ask why. This was probably annoying, but it helped me in life. When people give you advice, it's only from their level of understanding and experience, so I love understanding why a person gives me the advice that they do. I had my first mentor at 19 from the Small Business Administration. I picked his brain. I asked why on every piece of advice he gave me, but I took that knowledge and opened my first business. So question everything. Try to understand everything. Knowledge is power. Understand why people make the decisions they do. Understand why the economy is doing what it's doing. Understand triggers, especially if you're in business. People float through life not realizing the patterns and the energy. The more you are aware, the more you can use it to your benefit. Meet people that completely think different than you do. Have a conversation with them. Ask them questions. Try to understand their logic, even if they don't agree with you, especially if they don't agree with you. The second thing that helped me was traveling. I took my first solo international trip to Costa Rica. I stayed in a beautiful retreat facility named Niajae. When I told people I was leaving the country alone, they thought I was crazy. I didn't care. Side note, my new motto is if someone doesn't think I'm crazy, I'm not living big and bold enough. Some of the best decisions of my life were made when someone thought I was batshit crazy. It actually used to bother me because I started feeling like I was weird, but I just wasn't around people that were like-minded or a vibrational match. Okay, so back to Costa Rica. It was the most amazing, liberating experience of my life. It was beyond beautiful, and I met some really amazing people. One person that stands out in my mind during this trip is a beautiful woman that works for NASA. Yes, NASA. And you know what we talked about? Guys. This offered clarity to me because this girl was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, but she still had struggles with relationships. We are all fighting our own battles, so never look at someone and just assume they have it good. You never know what they are dealing with. She's married with a kid now, but I'm grateful for that clarity in Costa Rica. Also, I met another young lady that was traveling for 3 months. Now, I have to be really honest with you guys. At the time, leaving for a 5-day retreat seemed huge to me. That was a big deal. So I never met someone that could travel the world for 3 months. So this was a huge eye-opener for me, something I didn't even know was a thing. There were so many things I learned from this trip and so much expansion in my mind to what's possible. Also, the strength and the confidence I gained to take an international trip alone and own it. Now, it doesn't seem like a big thing today, but every now and then someone will say to me, I wish I had the guts to travel alone. And it will remind me of that feeling of my first solo international trip. So travel has been a huge, huge teacher for me, not only learning about other cultures, other ways of life, but it also taught me a lot about myself. All right, so far, the steps that have contributed to me shifting my mindset and unsubscribing to struggle is question everything. Don't accept this is just the way it is and that's it. Try to understand and live intentionally. Attract people and places and things that feel good to you. Number 2 is get a mentor. Hands down, someone smarter and wiser than you that will help you shift your mindset faster than if you think you know it all or you think you can learn it all on your own. And number 3 is travel. Travel as often and as far as you can. You will see that there is a big, huge world out there to explore, and it puts our tiny little problems into perspective. Okay, so the next thing I would say is to read. Read or listen to as many audiobooks as you can. If finances will allow you to go to some seminars, go to seminars like Landmark or Tony Robbins events. Start to adapt the mindset of successful people. Going to these events will allow you to meet other people that value self-development and mindset. Understand that your thought process contributes to your reality. One of the biggest paradigm shifts that I had is built around one of the most common and simple quotes. If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. I can do a whole episode on this alone, but the reality is you can't do it all alone. Even if you try, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to struggle. My mom used to always say this, and it was deeply ingrained in me. And I still find myself working through this. I'll be carrying something super heavy, and if someone offers to help, I'll say, no, thank you, I got it. Why? Why not allow someone to help you? Obviously, within reason, but allowing help definitely makes life easier. And there are some people out there that do just want to help out of the kindness of their heart, and they don't want anything in return. There's another negative pre-programming to think that the only reason someone wants to help is if they want something in return. If you believe that, you will only attract that. Then to take this further, with my last business, my dance and aerial studio, I felt this way and I tried to wear all of the hats. I very quickly burnt out. So even in business, learning to outsource and delegate is huge. You cannot do it all alone. Now, someone may argue that the other person doesn't do it as good as them. But that is an opportunity to work on your communication skills and explain exactly how you like it done. Speak up and don't expect people to be psychic and just know how you would do it. So the next thing is read and adapt new ways of thinking, new thought patterns, and new habits. That's number 4. So number 5 is get your relationship with money under control. I used to think the money blocks came from where I was born in my environment, but the reality is so much of the world is in debt. Even people who graduated college, loads of student loan debt. So the reality is the system is not set up for people to thrive. You want to adapt the mindset of millionaires and billionaires. Think about their spending and investing patterns. Sure, it's easy to blame where you were born, your parents, your environment on how your life, relationship, and financial situation turned out. But the reality is it's your responsibility to stop playing victim and make a change. It starts by reading, learning, and growing and actually implementing thought processes of successful people. Now, I know people who read books all the time, but they're still a hot mess. This is where you should get a coach or therapist. I would say that's number 6. It's important that we are aware of our blind spots. You know what you know what you don't know, but you don't know what you don't know. And the right coach or therapist should be able to help you with that. So let me say that again. You know what you know what you don't know, but you don't know what you don't know. So it's important that you are open to someone showing you your blind spots so you can step into the best possible version of yourself. In order to live an abundant life, you have to adapt an abundant mindset. That requires reprogramming your beliefs to attract all the love, money, and success you can handle. Download this free Abundant as Fuck affirmation ebook with over 100 affirmations to get you started thinking positive, confident, and yummy thoughts. Download it for free at abundancehack.com/ebook to take action towards living your abundant life. Growing up, no one had coaches or therapists. No one saw value in paying for help. No one saw value in investing in self-development. Guys, I believe with every cell of my body, you are your best investment that you can ever make. I've worked extremely hard on my mindset, pre-programming, and patterns. I'm unsubscribing from struggle. I've made so many mistakes, guys, so many. I've run up my credit so many times. I've purchased things when I shouldn't have. I've invested my last penny with no safety net. I've lived above my means. I've done it all. I have done it all. Do you know how many Americans at the end of the month after paying their bills don't even have $1,000 left over in their bank accounts? Let alone 10,000, let alone 100,000. So this is why I wanted to create this podcast, because I want people to commit to making a change, unsubscribing from struggle, building safety nets, and subscribing to an easier, more comfortable, stable life. There is ease in life that comes with preparation. The more prepared you are, the less stress and worry you know. I know stable people and they still have worries and struggles, but they're less and far and few in between. The last thing I want to leave you with is number 7, the art of allowing ease into your life, allowing help into your life, allowing abundance into your life. Know that the law of attraction is so real and powerful, whether you believe it or not. If you think no one helps unless they want something in return, the universe says, okay, and that is exactly what you attract. There are people who think and believe that there are good people out there and people always help me, and that's what they attract to them. So work on releasing those negative thoughts and open your heart to the possibilities. Open your heart to allowing kindness, allowing knowledge, allowing joy and stability and ease to flow to you. Open your heart to a great relationship with money. So just to recap, the things that have contributed to me unsubscribing to struggle. Number 1, question everything and live intentionally. Number 2, get a mentor. Number 3, travel, travel, travel. Let me know if you are interested in me doing a travel hacks episode. I've been to a decent amount of countries and it wasn't super expensive. Even though I probably made it look like that, it wasn't. Number 4 is read and listen to as many books as possible. Shift your mindset for success and adapt new patterns. Number 5 is get your relationship with money under control. Number 6 is invest in you. Coaches, therapists, self-development, seminars. Investing in you is the best investment you will ever make. Number 7 is practice the art of allowing. Allow ease into your life. Life doesn't have to be hard and challenging. You don't have to struggle, hustle, and grind. I like to say work smart rather than work hard. Work smart. Give yourself permission to have an easy life. Start to believe that everything works out for you. Everything is working in your favor for your greatest good. Release the resistance and allow the ease to flow. I hope you found value in this, and I know that not everyone will agree with everything that I'm saying, but I would love to hear from you. What was your biggest takeaway? What are your thoughts on struggle and surviving? What have you done to pull yourself out of a hold of negative pre-programming? I would love, love, love to hear from you. And until next time, love and light. Thank you for listening to the Abundance Hack Podcast. Don't forget to leave comments and questions. Remember, every time you subscribe or leave a 5-star rating, I do my happy dance.